So let's get started with this demo for Dataverse and also Fabric. And for this, I'm going to be uploading a UEFA Champions League dataset into Dataverse through the GUI here in the page. As you guys can see, it's called Football Player Performance, and the data is not complicated. So I'm going to be clicking here on Create, and then after this, using the first row as headers. And Dataverse, it's going to be getting this data set that I have, and it's going to be putting into the tables list that it has. As you guys can see here, I can select it, see the table again, and then I would like to send it to Fabric. I wanted to use the Azure Synapse link, but so far and currently we don't have a way to be, at least I didn't find a way to send it to Fabric. And if we could, you could come into your Fabric admin portal here, as you guys can see, go to capacity settings, and then from here, get your settings capacity name, copy and paste, and then create your own Fabric link. But the way I'm going to be doing this here, it's through the tables, and I'm going to be clicking on top center, analyze, and then link to Microsoft Fabric. Once I click here, Dataverse, it's going to be taking a look at my capacity and also my connections. Once I click here, you'll be able to see that it recognizes my environment and also my authentication. So I'm just saving the connection here. And then after this, it's going to say, you need to select a workspace. So I'm going to be creating one new workspace for this. I'm going to be calling it new Dataverse link or Fabric link here. And then clicking on next. And once I do that, it's going to give me a list of things that Dataverse is going to be doing inside of Fabric, okay? Like creating a workspace, creating shortcuts, creating a lakehouse. And then if we go to Fabric right now, you'll be able to see that in a new workspace that was created, we have a lakehouse, a semantic model, and a SQL analytics endpoint. Once I open the Dataverse lakehouse, you'll be able to see that we have a bunch of undefined shortcuts here. And this is because it's still loading and it's still sending the data from Dataverse into Fabric. So with this, of course, I'm going to pause the video so that it can take its time, and then I'm going to refresh here just so you can see it. It's still undefined, but let's move ahead and skip all of these transformations, okay? So right now I have refreshed, a few moments have went by, and now you'll be able to see that we have all of the tables shortcutted as Delta table format, okay? All in Fabric Lakehouse already. So I want to send this table here and check it out first, actually. Let me take a look, show you guys. It's the same table that I have ingested to Dataverse, okay? And I want to send this to an on-premise SQL Server. And currently, the only way that we can do that with Fabric, it would be pipelines, but on-premise gateways are not supporting on-premise sources for now. So I'm choosing my get data from my lakehouse, okay? Just so you guys can see. I'm gonna be choosing here the Dataverse lakehouse, choosing my file, and then preparing the data to be sending to on-premise SQL Server. So selecting the table here. And then after this, Fabric is going to recognize, just like Power Query, everything, the data types. And I'm going to be changing the name of this Dataflows to one lake to SQL on-prem. And the curious thing is that right now, when you have a data flow, you have to add the destination to your data. Currently, we have 4 for data flows: Azure SQL Database, Lakehouse, Data Warehouse, and KQL in Fabric. So for this specific task, I chose the Azure SQL Database. Even though it's Cloud Azure SQL, if I get the information from my server and database here on-premise, copy and paste into the Azure SQL connector for destinations, it's going to recognize my on-premise data source and add it as a destination. So it recognized my database, it recognized my on-premise data gateway, and you have to have your on-premise data gateway installed for this here, okay, and also authenticated for your capacity. So once that's done, authentication method, of course, and then you click next. Once you click next, it's going to be recognizing the destination. I'm going to be clicking on publish this and then allowing it to be sent to to my on-premise SQL Server. One of the cool things that Dataflows do is that it recognizes if you want to create a new table or add it to an existing table, and it recognizes also the columns, the data types. It understands also by, of course, by clicking it, if you have new data, if you want to append the new data by run, or if you want to replace the data that you currently have in that table after the data flow is ran. Okay, so just saving the settings, and then I'm going to click on publish. And this data flow, like this Dataflows Gen 2, like the Dataflows Gen 1, is going to run, and then it needs to refresh, so it's concluded. Once it's running, you get to see that we have a staging lakehouse and a staging warehouse. After Dataflows is finished, this disappears, okay? So bringing my on-premise SQL Server here, I'm going to be refreshing, taking a look at my server, also my database, and then now my tables. Voila, I see my table here, and then I want to select the top 1,000, and this is it.